Welcome to our first YouTube video. We just wanted to introduce ourselves and our roles in the company and what MJC is all about.
And answer a few questions that you guys had too. Okay, well, first one is tell us a little bit about yourselves, like a very basic interview question.
Okay. Born and raised in Jacksonville, Florida.
We're Albanian.
Sisters, obviously. I'm older by a year.
And I'm 23, Nikki's 24.
I'm a Gemini.
Virgo.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, oof is right. I went on to get my MBA degree at Pepperdine, and I concentrated in entrepreneurship and marketing.
I majored in biology with a minor in chemistry and Spanish, and now I'm in medical school at St. George's University.
Yeah. Basically, over quarantine, as everybody else, we were so bored at home, so we decided we wanted to start something. We've been working on something, trying to start something, I guess,
for so long.
Literally the longest
And
time.
we probably bounced off 17 to 100 ideas. We're like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do this. And
we did a podcast for like 2 days. We heard our voices, hated it, bad idea.
Yeah, listening to this back is going to make me cringe, but it's fine. PTSD. But so fashion really stuck with us, and Nikki and I have always loved fashion, just like dressing up and expressing ourselves through clothing. And we also have realized how much of a different taste and style, like taste in clothing that we have, probably has a lot to do with like my Miami background and her, Malibu, California style. I would say I'm a little more like dressy
and
girly.
Yeah. I am more like baggy pants, tiny shirt,
Sneakers.
LA street style kind of vibe.
You like sneakers, I love heels.
Yeah.
So I feel like that just kind of also changes a lot. I'll see something that Nikki's wearing, I'll love it, but I'm like, I can't ever put that on.
Same here.
Yeah. You're just like, you look good, but I'd never wear that. And I'm like, thanks, okay.
So that's kind of why we decided, like, we always came back to fashion. We always agreed on fashion and things that we liked. So kind of felt natural to us to be in fashion. I feel like it was just easy. So over quarantine, we were sitting home bored and decided, like, let's give it a go. Let's start it out. And we came back to LA at the end of quarantine and kind of just jumped right into it.
We were here for like 3 months in like the bulk of lockdown.
Yeah.
And we were just like working on Malibu Juice Club and like how we can make it a brand that we'll love and that you guys will love too. It came with a lot of like brainstorming, and we wanted to create like a brand with a story behind it that you guys could connect to. We are a fully sustainable brand. Everything is made of 100% organic cotton, down to our hang tags and everything that we put into the clothing, the boxing, the packaging, the tissue paper is recycled paper. So I mean, like, that's just one of our goals, is to like make clothing should be sustainable. I like my fashion sense to be something that like I can wear for a long time and get many uses out of it.
I am SEER certified, which means socially, ethically, and environmentally responsible. So I've taken so many courses on sustainable practices in, general business day-to-day life. But learning about what happened in the Rana Plaza was kind of something that, sparked an interest in learning more about sustainability and how it's so important for companies to have more of a purpose than just making something. I think that it's really important that there is that factor in there that helps other people or wants to make this world a better place.
We're really into health and wellness also, and we believe in a brand that inspires you to be your best, feel your best, look your best. I truly think that a routine is so important in your day, and if you look good, you feel good, and you do good, and like you perform better. I think like in your classes you give it more effort if you just like feel better about yourself. So we wanted to create clothing. That's why we also started with athleisure, is like you can create clothing that you'll feel good in, and you can just be productive in it. And this like our athleisure wear is
so comfy,
is sustainable, so comfy, and you just feel so put together when you're wearing it. So Nikki and I live in these sets actually.
Yeah. So Amy and I have very different roles in the company. I'm more of like the creative. I do crazy research on
She's very front of the house.
Yeah, trending, what forecasting trends. Like I'm all into that. I love looking for designs and getting inspiration from everything, kind of coming up with the designs and naming the next collection and kind of putting the vibe around it, like doing a whole mood board on it. So I feel like that's kind of my job in the company.
But we do everything.
Yeah.
Nikki and I do
literally
we're
customer service.
I am responding to your emails.
I
I'm tracking your shipment if it's not there.
Yes.
But basically my role in the company, since I was living in Florida for a little bit, at the start of this has been a lot of behind the scenes work. I basically deal with all of the store, the Shopify. I'm sending emails to manufacturers. I'm dealing with the shipments, customs, and it's just like so much behind the scenes work that I really didn't think goes into having a business, but I've been learning as I go, and it's been really rewarding. And it's also something that I've been able to do along with medical school, because I haven't had to be here, and Nikki's been going to all like the in-person meetings and visiting the factories, and that was just something that I could still maintain my role while being far away. So that's how that balance like really worked out.
I think that this whole journey has been such a learning curve for us, and like in school you obviously learn about, in business school, I learned about everything there is to know, and supply chain this and whatever. But when you have your own supply chain and there's issues such as COVID, getting fabrics in, everything is delayed, that's when you really understand the true meaning of having a business and being able to pivot and having to do it fast enough. There's always brands coming in and they'll always create new things. That's why you need to be quick on your feet. And that's something we had to learn. There's so much stress. There's always something wrong. Something always goes wrong, and you have to figure out like.
And you're working 24 hours. It's not 9 to 5. It's like an issue goes wrong because we're dealing with another country, and a different time zone, and you're just having to juggle it all, because if you don't answer their email right when they send it, they're asleep. You're awake, and you missed a day.
But yeah, so I'm kind of the designer, and we never really disagree on a design. Actually, sometimes, but like I just gotta explain it a different eye.
Nikki will always run it by me, which I really appreciate. She'll be like, "What do you think about this?" Because I'm very particular, but Nikki's very creative. So Nikki will like show me a creative like idea, and I'll be like, "Yes, but this needs to move. This
like my ideas are out here, and she brings me back down to here."
Yeah,
which I like being.
I know you do, but I gotta like bring you back to her sometimes. Yeah. And be like, "Okay, we'll do that, but like not now."
Yeah. Some of my ideas I think are too far out, and I need to like come back down and realize we're just starting out. We're still a small business.
Also, what I realized is I write everything down, and I don't know. I think that's like my most valuable asset to this company. I write everything down, because you throw ideas out. Nikki is like churning ideas. My mind doesn't necessarily work like that. Like I focus on one thing at a time, kind of.
I took this test and kind of learning on what kind of person you are, and I'm a generator. So I always generate ideas, absolutely. But I have a hard time putting them or making them come to life. Amy,
really, I really think that you. I think I make everything that you want come to life. I think that about you.
Yeah, that's so sweet. You never said that about me.
That's it for now.
Thanks. Why is it called Malibu Juice Club? That's such a great question.
Nikki, fantastic at explaining this. Go.
Whoa, you just put it all on me. Basically,
she just gives the spiel, and I'm like, that's my businesswoman.
Basically, I was sitting at home during quarantine. Yes, but you were sleeping.
At this moment.
Yes.
At this exact moment that you had the idea.
Yes. I was sitting, we had been talking about like, let's start something. We were like, what brand name? Should it be Nikki and Amy something? Should it be Doda something? By the way, our last name is pronounced Doda.
Doda.
Not Doja, Dodage,
Dodage, which we get all the time Dodage, and I'm like, no.
No, a lot of people put the J before they Doja.
Yeah. No, I don't like that.
Anyways, Doda. So we were thinking about names, contemplating, should it be around us, should it be something different, completely unrelated, and I was deep on Instagram looking through different like magazines, health and wellness stuff, and I got inspired. First we had like Lean Green Club,
we bounced back
Fruit First Club, just a bunch of different names, and then I wrote down Malibu Juice Club, and I was just like, I really like that, but I feel like people are gonna get confused, think we're like a juice shop, and that doesn't really.
People do, but I love it.
I love the mystery. People not knowing like, do you guys like make smoothies? Like, what do you guys do? It's a fun question we get asked all the time. So
one day,
definitely one day. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So it kind of just stuck to us, Malibu Juice Club. We had bounced it off a couple people. People were telling us no because they felt like it just limits us to the Malibu community and that we can't, make it bigger than just Malibu. Malibu Juice Club, basically Malibu because I spent 6 years there. I went to Pepperdine for 6 years.
A strong tie to that area too, because it influenced not only a lot of your learning and like how you left Florida 6-7 years ago and you moved to California. Like nobody in our family really does that.
No.
Like you fully just like picked up and left. My family was so sad because they're like, why are you going halfway across the country?
And everyone was like, you're gonna come back after your 4 years. Like you're gonna want to come back. And I was like, I don't think so.
I feel like it symbolizes a lot, like freedom, you
growing, and I learned so many lessons. Like my whole, basically, I like grew into the person I am today because of Malibu and the Pepperdine experience that I had, the people that I met, and I felt like I was definitely meant to be there at that time. So I have very strong ties to Malibu. We love the laid back luxury. No. What? We love we love the laid back luxury lifestyle there. People are barefoot, surfers. You have like a whole everybody that comes to California wants to visit Malibu. So just we love Malibu in general. Juice for the health aspect. We want people to work out, to feel good in their bodies, to feel confident, to take care of their bodies, nourish their bodies, and drink your green juice. And then Club for the aspect of we want people to feel like they're a part of something, they're a part of a group. We want to throw events where we can host our community together. So
that's something that Nikki and I really love too, is like having events where you can bring people together for like a shared purpose, whether it's to celebrate. We love finding any reason to celebrate. Like that's something that our family always does. We always find a reason to celebrate. So something that Nikki and I have worked into our brand is like creating an environment where people will want to come together and just have a good time, make meaningful connections, whether it's, a pop-up event or a workout event that we've been throwing.
Dinner parties.
A dinner event. We just love like those intimate settings, and we think that like meaningful connections are so important in your life.
We just love learning about different cultures, meeting with other people. So definitely the club aspect was something that we're super proud of. We're proud of the community we're creating around Malibu Juice Club. We love when people come to our events. People that we don't even know that show up. It's just like so exciting.
It makes me
so
happy. Yeah. It was just an idea a year ago.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that like what started off as just like me and Amy running an Instagram account turned into this brand that people are loving and buying into and posting and tagging and telling their friends, and it's a crazy feeling.
We've created a community, which I really love, and like we're gonna do more workouts and stuff in the future, and just ways to get people to connect with the brand. And I feel like we've been doing a really good job about that.
Me too.
Do we ever argue? Big question.
Yes.
All the time.
I think like sisters in general argue, and if you have a sister or a brother, you obviously know how that goes. But it's different when you're like you have sibling fights, and then you have like we have sibling fights about like
borrowing clothes. You took my straightener.
You don't clean my shit. Yeah. And then there's work fights where it's like I tell her to do something and she'll forget. Her thing
delegating her responsibility.
I delegate.
And then she gives me 15 tasks. I'm like, I cannot do this now.
But her thing is she doesn't tell me. And it's always like that whole thing. But yeah, we do argue. I mean, I feel like that goes with any business. There's arguments.
Who wins in the argument?
Me. Me.
Every single time.
Yeah.
Left and right.
But that just goes with the business. I mean, there's deadlines, there's important things, so we need to hold each other accountable. If there's no arguments, nothing's moving forward, I feel like.
Yeah, that's true. We argue a lot about work stuff. I think our arguments about like sister things like has definitely decreased because a lot of it's just like work related now.
Yeah.
And meeting deadlines and stuff super stressful, especially when there's setbacks. Like then we start to get mad at each other. We're like, you didn't do this, you didn't do this. But it's also not just us that's not moving. It's like, we're working with people in different companies.
There's like 10 people down the line and it all starts and then it adds up. Yeah. But I feel like being sisters is also nice because we're over
at the end of the day. I'm like, or not even.
No, it's literally 5 minutes later. I'm like done with the argument. I'm like, okay, shut up. Like we have to go move on to the next thing.
Yeah, that's definitely a perk of working with you. I think is that I can never stay mad at you.
So cute.
Imagine if it was someone else.
Okay, next question is: do you guys have any upcoming collaborations? And we do.
We do. So yesterday we just went to tour the space, and we are going to be in Fred Siegel in April.
Fred Siegel Malibu in April. So we're so excited. We've been working on the designs for the new collection.
Everything's up and coming.
So it's looking really good. We're so excited. And
it's the first chance to shop Malibu Juice Club in store, besides like our pop-up events, which we'll have our clothes there, and I'm just so excited to see it in Malibu.
Yeah.
Especially, like not even just the first store, but it's in Malibu.
So we're so excited. We have so many upcoming things with Fred Siegel that we can't wait to share with you all.
Yeah, and definitely like the events that we're gonna have centered around it, and like having people come and be active in a store is really important to us. Hopefully one day we're gonna have a store of our own. Yes. But I think just like having our clothing somewhere that's shoppable, you can interact with it, and like we're probably gonna have like a little activation and stuff. Super fun.
Super exciting. So we can't wait for you all to see us in store. See you then.
Amazing.